Hi, this is TV information for owners in AE and F Block in Spanish Cove and Kilkee. Um, what we have here in this diagram is showing that our location is here. And when you scan for TV channels, terrestrial or local TV channels, the scan is picking up from this red location or this blue location. The red location is a primary transmitter, the blue location is a secondary transmitter. Now, the problem is that the structure that's on top of the hotel, which is adjacent to us right now, is partially blocking the line of sight to this transmitter. However, this is the stronger signal. When you do an auto tune on your TV, it's picking up this signal preferentially rather than this signal because it's a stronger signal. And what you need to do is you need to tell your TV that you want to pick up this signal from this location, this mountaintop, rather than this mountain. That's what you're aiming to achieve. Now, in order to physically do that, you need to do what's called a manual scan. And in the manual scan, you need to have particular settings to correctly pick up the location you need. Now, to explain the difference between a manual scan and an auto scan. So, when you tune your TV or your box that's connected to your TV, when you pick auto tuning, it may try to pick up those RTE channels from that red location, that Mulliganish mountain, rather than the one on Knockanoor. Whereas when you go through the manual tuning, the idea is that you'll only pick up the RTE channels from Knockanoor, but it's all got to do with checking or picking those appropriate settings. So to speak of the appropriate settings, Knockanoor is a location, like there are multiple other locations across the country, and there are particular settings for that location. And the settings for Knockanoor are what are called channel 44 and 47. These channels are unrelated to the channels that you select for RTE1 and Network 2 and so on and so forth. They're the channels of transmission, so it's a slightly different thing. Now, in order to physically show you how this works, what I have is set up a television, which I'll go through the tuning of, and also a box or a SearView box that's connected to the television. So what I have first here is a SearView box. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the TV aerial connection on the back of it. The reason I'm doing this is I want to get rid of all the channels that are already scanned in. So you go under, in this case, to the setup menu. And in the setup menu, you will go down to installation. And in installation, go through an automatic channel scan. When you pick an automatic channel scan, it'll say the previous channel list will be replaced. So it's essentially going to delete everything. So it'll go through that for a few minutes or so, and by the end of the process it'll say no channels were physically detected, and that's what you physically want to get rid of all those channels. The alternative to it is you manually delete all the channels that have already been scanned. Now the next step in the process after that is to replace the TV aerial back into the box and then go through a manual scan of channels 44 and channels 47. So it's similar on this particular set-top box of how to do it, or SearView box. All tellies and SearView boxes are different, but this is how this one works, and yours will be something similar. You go through a manual search by channel, not frequency, and the channel number is 44 that you do the first scan for, and then you do a second scan for 47, and that will pick up the channels that you're physically looking for. Now, an alternative to that is here is it going through on the television. Go down to the setting channel, and in the setting channel, channel setup for digital, and go through digital auto tuning. Go through the auto tuning exercise to get rid of the old channels. And here's the manual tuning, going through channels number 44 and 47. And by scanning those individually, what you'll do is preferentially pick up on Knockanoor rather than Mulliganish, and that will give you the strongest signal that you physically need. Most people are used to doing an auto scan, but an auto scan will give the problems that have been mentioned earlier. If you physically have that done, you will be getting your television to pick up on the location that was mentioned, the knock on door location, and you should get a non-pixelated, non uh, uh, no interference on your physical channel